From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want those major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off because Ollie has taken a day off. But it's okay because I'm joined by Nick. And before we go any further into this show, is my screen green?
No, it's not. You're not
Right.
doing the Hulk thing again. I was like, what the hell was that about?
Genuinely, I thought you thought the color was off on my screen. I had no idea that you couldn't see me for that entire podcast we did.
It was really weird. I'm so used to seeing a person now, and it really caught me off guard for the whole podcast. But I think it went all right. But yeah, so
That was fine.
you're shining. You're looking good.
What was wild was the fact that your name changed through the show.
Do you think the CIA or the MI6 were part of that? That's conspiracy theory brain. I just threw it out there because we are the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. I was like, it's weird though, isn't it? That's never happened before, though, isn't it?
Never. I don't understand how it did happen, to be perfectly honest.
What was the name? What did it put? What was the name?
Oh, was it?
Hench guy?
No, it was like grief or something like that. It was a weird word. It was a weird word. But before we get into the podcast, I have some requests for our audience. I want them to go and vote for us on the British Podcast Awards. A load of them have already been doing it, which is great. And I thought, do you know what? I want to try and, in a small way, repay them for this. So what I want people to do is, if you go and do the whole voting thing, on the link will be in the description of this podcast. The British Podcast Award it is, if you just want to Google it. Vote for us. Take a screenshot of voting for us. Share it on your social media platform. We will share that post out, and we'll give you a follow back if you go and vote for us. So if you want F-list, like conspiracy commentators following your social medias, like the dream can be true.
That's awesome. Go ahead. You have to do it. It's extremely important. These guys have really worked hard, and they're going every single day. Come on. They deserve a shout out. It takes, what, less than a minute to do?
It took me 2 minutes to find it when I didn't know where it was, and then it took me a minute just to click. Yeah, them.
Exactly. So there's no excuses. Get your asses. If you're on the phone right now, do it.
Pause it.
Or I will kill you.
Podcast, or you might even need to pause the podcast. Just open your web browser. We'll wait. We even wait for Gary, and we know what fucking Garys are like.
He's sat on the loo right now, and he's on his phone, the bastard. Right, vote, Gary. If you're on the toilet and your name's Gary, vote.
And if you don't, we're going to tell your boss that you've already been 25 minutes.
Bastard. It doesn't take 25 minutes to have a shit, does it?
Sometimes.
I don't know. This conversation is going a bit.
How
long do you shit on the toilet, Ellie?
Yeah. It depends. Depends how hydrated you are, really. People say it's about fiber, but I always think it's about hydration.
I don't think. I'm in some upset. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Also, I'd like people to go and subscribe to the Patreon. $5.99 a month gets you ad-free podcasts, a monthly hangout, which will be at the beginning of next month, this month, not the end of this month. So keep that in mind. You also get early access to videos, and it's a really good way of getting in touch with us as well, to be perfectly honest, because it's a smaller group of people. Then if you send us a DM, come out on something, it's a really good way to get to us. How have things been over on Alien Addict?
Things are going quite well, actually, despite my live stream being suspended last Friday. Yeah, it was last Friday. I was playing Arthur C. Clarke's old documentary on UFOs, and everyone was complaining. Says, "Oh, I think the MI5's got you because your live stream's going a bit glitchy," and then bang, it went off. But no copyright. But nevertheless, things are going really well. So the people that don't know, I run a show called Alien Addict where Ollie, Lee, and Dave used to be on back in the day. And I go back through old cases of ufology. Yes, we go delve into like new cases, but I'm more of a historian when it comes to ufology. I mean, going back to ufology, 90 years worth. And I don't know if you can see this live. Not live, if you're on the screen right now, we still got a bunch of books here that are dating back for the past 80 years. And these are rare books as well. So this is what I do with Alien Addict. We go back through history of ufology and see what they were saying back then to what it is now. And it's pretty much a cycle, mate.
Yeah.
That's what it is, really. But we have a lot of fun. We have a good laugh as well. So yeah, come check it out on Alien Addict every Friday at 9 p.m. GMT. And I think it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock. America time. So yeah, fun times with Ad by All. But no, it's going really well. And it's just the thing is, I say things that are not algorithm happy. They don't like it. For instance, chemtrails. I mean, I had a conversation with my mum the other day. I said, I don't know why. Look, I understand the viewership is dropped off. That's understandable. But people are not getting the notifications. So it's almost like a shadow ban going on. And I said to my mum, I said, I don't understand why I've been shadow banned so much on Alien Addict. She goes, well, what are you talking about? What's the key words? And she goes, well, basically, you mentioned in the first 5 minutes, chemtrails, climate change, COVID, lockdown, pandemic. And it's like, flip it. It's like you mentioned all the things you should not say. I was like, yeah. The thing is, once you're in that mode, you just go with it. And this is why I like coming on the podcast with you, because there is no restrictions. And I can say stuff like Pizzagate, pedophile, stuff like that. It's just, but in terms of like algorithm, and I think this is where I'm going to start off this conversation, because I've been led down a very dark rabbit hole, and need to explain something. So the algorithm knows everything about you. Your phone, obviously, is built-in algorithm. Anywhere you go, anything with a smart compound in your house, especially obviously we're talking about your phone, has AI built in, so it knows you more than anything. And
I'd love to know. I'd love to know if they take that data, how much of an accurate picture they can draw of you.
Pretty accurate, because it's picking up all the dark stuff. Now, this is what I want to talk about, right? Now, I've had my fair share of viewings of bad videos. Now, I'm talking about bad videos. I'm talking about execution videos, gore videos. We used to see them back when we were teenagers and stuff like that. And
I'd call them porn. Carry on.
Suit yourself. But there, I saw a ballooning accident happened last month, and
I saw this, the guy that falls off.
Yeah, and you can see people falling. And then this is it. It started showing you accident videos on Twitter, Facebook, and I'm going, I got a curious mind and going, I'll just click on it. It's an accident. And then the YouTube started picking up gore videos, but not gore videos. It's, for instance, there's one channel called Disturbed Reality on YouTube, and he goes through all the most worst gorish execution videos that are online, and he talks about it. Doesn't show about it, but he goes in graphic detail, and that is what's been hitting my algorithm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, constantly, Lee. And I'm going, not interested, because okay, look, I did see a beheading video the other day, and I'm going, no, Nick, don't go down that path again. I've seen the worst stuff. Like, there's something called Ghost Rider, Funky Town. These are the worst gore videos. I saw one back in 2018 that ruined my Christmas. It was called the Moroccan Backpackers. I saw the video of the beheading, and it's the BBC said, "Oh, they had neck injuries, and we think that the video is fake." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, the screams haunt me still to this day. And I stopped doing that because it sort of ruined my life a little bit. You know, when you're going down that, like, especially a cartel video, it does take a hold of you. If you're sensitive or not, it does eventually take a hold. But the algorithm, once again, is putting me into this mindset of almost like fear, but at the same time pushing you down an avenue that is quite dark. And I don't understand why, obviously, because it's showing you what you're interested in. So it's going to show you accident videos. Yeah. But it's getting more and more extreme. And the more extreme, the more graphic content that is popping up everywhere, every social media. And there is a community behind this gore sites and stuff like that. There is like a community. And apparently, according to one of these people that run a very popular gore YouTube channel, says, "Oh, they're quite friendly community." I'm like, yeah, but this is promoting the worst kind of acts on people.
Yeah, see,
videos. Do you know what I mean?
The thing with like that, I mean, that's what a wild thing to say is, "Oh, they're the friendly community." So the fact is,
I'm not joking when I say that.
Yeah, the fact if you're watching, if you're watching that stuff regularly, I think it has to be a fetish. I think it has to be,
because you've got to be desensitized to that stuff. Because I'm not joking, guys. These are fucking harrowing.
Well, let's also think what, like, if you get into stuff, right? I watch my Instagram feed, for instance, and like my TikTok feed is full of conspiracy theories. My YouTube algorithm is like 50-50 conspiracy theories, 50-50 like gaming tech YouTubers. My Instagram tends to be either like combat sports or conspiracy theories. So they show you stuff that you're interested in and that you want.
Yeah.
So if these people are fucking consuming all this stuff, I can only think it's because they want to do it. There's a sick part of them that wants to fill out that fantasy.
It starts with curiosity first. It's like, well, if I just click on it, see what it's like, and then it's like it leads you down a rabbit hole. And I think a lot of it, Lee, is to do with curiosity and that the fact that you can literally click on something, even Google something like an execution video, and they click of a button. But if I say the word, COVID during COVID times on YouTube, I can get banned. But you got this horrendous video that's online. But it's almost giving people excuses to say, "Oh, it's all right to watch it. It's fine." But not knowing the damage that it might be doing to a person. This is what I mean. I mean, for instance, Manhunt on the PS2. Could you remember Manhunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I understand it was a very controversial game, and I do believe there was a murder over it, wasn't it? It's not.
I think that, like, there was plenty of murders back in the day that were blamed on video games and musicians and stuff like that. I mean, even was Columbine blamed on Marilyn Manson? Was it Marilyn Manson got Columbine? Yeah. I think there is there's a selective outrage when it comes to that sort of stuff. The Bulger murder was blamed on Chucky or Child's Play 2, wasn't it, for instance? I think there's selective outrage there, so it's just like find the closest thing that we can blame on these things. However, I do think that there is a natural inclination in humans to push it. So it's one of the reasons. It's one of the things that made us great explorers. It's one of the things that make us like just really good at stuff. We're really good at stuff because if we see somebody that throws a stone like 20 meters, someone in the close vicinity is going to go, "I could do 21. I'm pretty sure I could do 21." And I think that's the same. Because so when you think, right, the modern day like porn industry for instance, was something that was made in like it's kind of our lifetime. The modern day porn industry really took off in the 80s, didn't it? Like properly.
Yeah. I assume
and
so.
we went from like funky, weird guitars with horrible storylines, where you get like these terribly made films that probably had about 15 minutes of fucking in a 2-hour movie or an hour and a half movie.
Yeah, sure.
Now it's like fucking you stick Pornhub on, and it's
sister, stepmother.
Yes,
Not like
loads of fucking fake incest stuff. It's like a young girl that looks about 12 that weighs fucking 3.5 stone wet through, surrounded by like 15 black dudes. You know, and that's what we consider. That's the wild thing is that's what we consider acceptable.
It's norm. That's the norm now, isn't it? And plowed, but yeah. Hence Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips. I bring her up all the time. I find them two fascinating, especially Bonnie Blue. How the public is, I mean, for instance, it's got a trend, and it's the same with these gore videos and gore YouTube channels that talk about it. It's got so much views. Yeah. Unbelievable. It has a trend, and it's almost been socially acceptable to a certain degree. But with Bonnie Blue, I mean, even OnlyFans banned her because her next stunt, she wanted to be encased in a cage and have men do whatever they want to do with her for 24 hours.
I think we brought this up. Did we bring this up last time we did a podcast together?
I think we might have, actually.
I think we might have done, yeah.
Oh dear. It's just weird. Like, how is that acceptable these days? It's gone, like you said, if you look through the timeline for the past decades, it's got one extreme to the other. It's like, where do we go from here? Like, it's going to lead to disaster, a death, probably.
I wonder if it's one of the reasons why you're seeing more sexual violence. Because the thing, the worry I have with it, and this is the worry I've always had with this sort of stuff, is that if you make the taboo fine, like if you normalize kinks, then the people that would normally the people that would normally fall into kinks are going to have to find more extreme stuff. It's in the same way, right? Let's call a spade a small shovel here. I might have found myself on the fucking business end of a rolled up like banknote now and again when I was in my youth. But again, I don't think any of that stuff, like using coke when I was younger, or pills, or whatever it would be, I don't think that would have been anywhere near as attractive if it was legal.
Yes, good point. Actually, like a long-lasting effect, really. I mean, you could look at legalizing cannabis and stuff like that. Would have had been differently if it was legalized.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
no one wants to admit it. But like the thrill of like of going out with a few people out on coke is like getting the wink and the nod. No time.
Yeah, I know. I've been there. Yeah, I understand why cocaine's addictive. I understand that. But it's like you said,
you've got a secret, haven't you? You've got a secret over everyone else that's in the building, like everyone else in the building, but you, Kevin, and Nigel. Bump.
Yeah, it's called doing a Zelensky, whatever his name is from. What's his name from Ukraine? I can never pronounce
Zelensky.
His name properly. Yeah, Zelensky. Yeah. He's a massive cokehead, allegedly.
Oh yeah. I think they all are. I think they all are.
They're getting the best kinds, though. The ones that give you almost like a heart attack. Seems to have like a massive line of it. But no, you make a really good point. You make a really good point there, Lee. Look, it's not every single person that's taken drugs back when they're in a youth is going to be a cocaine habit or alcoholic, so to speak. I think it depends on what path you go down in life.
No, but what I think is, I think if you what I was trying to get to is, I think people are doing it because it's like it's against the norm. So if you push that boundary out further, then you're going to get people into darker stuff. I worry that's what's going to happen. That's what's happening with the internet. In fact, there was a post the other day. I'm going to bastardize this, and I forgot who it is. It's from the Alt History guy. And he put this massive big post up yesterday, and he basically turned around and said, like, people need to get off the internet. They need to fucking run, because he believes that we are in I reading between the lines what he was saying, he said that we're in a state of psychosis, that everybody is in a state of psychosis.
That's the same thing Graham Hancock says. Same thing.
Really?
Yeah,
interesting.
Same thing. Yeah.
And I'm starting to come to that conclusion myself. I want to do a full podcast on this. So just trying to, I'm in the middle of researching at the minute. Oddly enough, it's quite handy. Have you ever heard of the Mouse Utopia?
No, never heard of it.
So the Mouse Utopia is, this guy did a series of experiments with mice where he put them all into an environment, a habitat. He catered for everything the mouse could want. Everything the mouse could want. They were the best treated mice in the world. Hence Mouse Utopia. And what he found is that at a certain point, the mice lost their minds. And then slightly after that, they just died. No reason for it. They weren't overeaten. They didn't fight. They just acted weird and they died. It seems that when you take an animal and you remove it from its natural state of living, I don't just mean like habitat. If you remove it from its natural state of living, that first of all, it like discombobulates with it. And this, I could understand this if you were treating them badly, but this is like treating things perfectly as well. You become discombobulated with what you are, and then these mice would just die. And he believes, or at least what I've read about him at the minute, he believes we are in the insanity phase of the Mouse Utopia, and he's genuinely worried that as we get separated further and further from what being a human being is, we will go through this natural extinction that the mice went through.
Wow. That's interesting, because you would have thought that mice would end up going crazy and beating the shit out of each other or eating each other or something like that.
Yeah, but no, just died.
I mean, if you take that concept and apply that to the internet. Now, if the internet goes down, everyone goes ape shit. My missus, I'm not joking, her phone goes off the internet for 5 minutes. She's freaking out.
Yeah,
literally freaking out. And you can imagine that happen worldwide. People are going to lose their shit.
That's
it's like the South Park episode,
right? That's a real world scenario that could cause people to really fucking lose their minds, right? Get it? The disturbing thing about the Mice Utopia is that it wouldn't need that catalyst. The catalyst is already happening. What we're doing right now is the catalyst, because we're doing something which is out of sync with what we are as physical beings.
Is it because of social media? Is this
everything that separates?
Everything, yeah.
I would think it's the big problem for people when it comes to social media and what things we do is, I mean, at any one time now, and by the fucking, if you're a content creator and your platform's growing, you can be adding 100 people a day, more than 100 people a day, that you pick your social media apps up, and all of a sudden you have a legion of people that want to hear from you or that are posting stuff so you can interact with them. I don't think we're fucking built for this shit.
Everything's changed dramatically since the last 10 years. mean, everything we do, I mean, it's more or less been the same, but there is a very like consciousness shift as well in terms of the mentality of people. And like I said, I think I was on the last podcast I was with you, Lee, is that the social engineering side, it's so rampant and so in your face. Some people don't see it. My nan don't see it, but when I point it out, she goes, "Oh yeah, actually no, I see your point now." But in one way it's subliminal and one way it's psychological. And I think the powers that be who are pulling this off has done a fantastic job. And I think when you're saying leveling out, because obviously the mice didn't have the internet, but they were treated right. They had everything, food, probably comfort and everything. Pretty much what everyone is having at the moment. You know, yeah, okay, we go through shit time in England, pretty much around the world, but we still have our comfort zone. We have a home, a roof over our head. We've got access to food, water, etc. We can have fun and stuff.
The top and bottom of it is when people complain about what's going on with them online. If you are tweeting about how impoverished you are on a smartphone that is connected to the internet, then do you know what? You're right. People have a hard time. I have a hard time sometimes, but you also sometimes need to take a step back and go, all right, we are the most privileged generation of humans known, I'll say, because who knows if the Tartarians will probably swing and fucking hammer everywhere. But the in like known history, we are the most privileged people. Like, if you are in a developed country, it doesn't get a lot better. We don't know of a time better than this.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like the feminist movement, I mean, they have practically everything. Like, my missus gets paid more than me. I don't piss and moan and complain. You know, it's
and you're both on OnlyFans. It's unfair.
It's fantastic, honestly. We're raking it in, man. You know, but it's like you're quite right. We've got everything, access to everything, compared to what it was like 15, like during World War II. You know, like my nan even said, you know, even struggled with like rationing and stuff like that. But we have access to everything. Why are we complaining? Why is that's the aspect when you look at the like. What would you call it? Not really the riots. It's like protests and stuff like that. There's so much of it. It's putting people in categories. There's a Palestine bloody protest. There's a flipping geoengineering protest. There's so many different things. It's pushing people in avenues and more or less categories. Would you say? You know, they're in like their own little groups of people, and it's literally dividing us completely instead of being like one. And I think the social engineering aspect of that is done perfect since COVID, which was the biggest psychological operation since 9/11. You could say the war in Iraq as well, the weapons of mass destruction.
I think COVID was bigger. I think COVID was bigger than 9/11.
Oh yeah, for sure, on a global scale, worldwide scale. But I think for me, I was young when the weapons of mass destruction came out. World War III, 24 Hours from Doom. I mean, it was such bullshit after later on in life.
I remember, and again, it's these things that happen. I don't know exactly how much it shapes you, but I remember I was still living with my mother at the time. I had a sleepover with one of my friends when we went into I like Iraq first time sort of thing, and I remember it being on the TV that evening. There was videos. There was like, I don't know whether it was a live feed or it was on like the news at 10 or something like that, of these air raid attacks in Iraq.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself as a kid, I don't know where this is. Joe, is this close? How close is this to me? I remember being really confused by it, and it's something you don't think of for kids. I think, you know, it's one of the reasons I got rid of the TV in my house for stuff. I think there's so much is soaked up subliminally that we really need to watch what's around us.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's definitely the tide is turning, so to speak. I mean, going off like subliminally, I mean, that's flipping everywhere now. I mean, since looking into like David Icke and stuff like that, like Jordan Maxwell, and you walk around England, especially like my area, and you can see like the churches, like the acorns and the pillars that are, and you looking into stuff like that. I mean, you've got flipping like monolith or what's it called? There's another word for it, not monolith. Obelisk, yeah. They're flipping everywhere in Bristol, absolutely everywhere. And there's a hidden meaning behind that, but you're driving past, not really thinking of what it is. But if you know the meaning behind it, and especially today with like music industry, I mean, there's one thing I love to do is a podcast on the subliminal aspect now of the music industry, because the satanic aspect is unbelievable. If you knew what you were looking for, like me and you know obviously what we're looking for. But for any Tom, Dick, and Harry doesn't see it, goes right over the head. It's like, well, hold on, let's just look into that symbolism and doing all this sort of stuff and like the devil horns. It's just in your face. In fact, there was a really good podcast from the guy from one of the. It was the boy band. I think it was Westlife.
Shane Lynch.
So
Shane Lynch. I'm actually in contact with his management at the minute. I'm going to try and get him on the show.
Is it the I was going to say Irish guy?
It was Boyzone. He was in Boyzone.
No, this is. Oh yeah, no, Shane Lynch. Shane Lynch, yeah, that's it. He was on Liam Tuff's podcast.
Yes, yeah.
Did you? I didn't even watch that one.
Yeah, I love Liam Tuff. So I think it's a great podcast. But
fantastic.
he so just over halfway through the podcast, he starts talking about like praying over music satanically and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm desperate to get Shane Lynch on this podcast and say, right, I enjoyed the interview you did with Liam Tuffs, but when we got to that part of the podcast, I remember thinking to myself, I wish we'd start the podcast here because this is what I want to hear about. So I want to get him on here and go, right, I'd like us to start the podcast from this point. Thank you very much.
He's like sound guy. Like, honestly, love to have a conversation with him, but he does hold back on the satanic aspect just a bit. He did, because I listened to the whole thing and I saved it here specifically so I could talk about it on Alien Addict. Like, you keep forgetting, but the witchcraft aspect going back. I mean, Boyzone. This is like late 90s, something like that.
Late 90s, yeah.
So it was prevalent back then.
As bubblegum pop as you can get as well.
Oh yeah. Clearly, this is Boyzone we're talking about here. They were.
No, I'm just mean for our American audience, they probably won't know who Boyzone are.
Oh yeah, of course, isn't it?
Yeah, they were but you'll have probably heard of Take That. They were kind of like poised to be the Irish Take That.
Boys to what was it called?
NSYNC. They were like the Irish NSYNC. That's a good example.
Bit like that. Yeah. Sort of, I would say late 90s, early 2000 pop band. Basically, that's what it was, Boyzone.
Yeah.
Obviously, a bunch of Irishmen. But yeah, that was a fantastic interview. Mate, if you can get him on, do it, because
I'd love
so
to.
Much stuff
I'm going to try. I've got a second. I've spoke to his manager. I got an email off his manager. I've got another email to follow that up with. So I'm going to try my best to get him on.
It's dark, man. It's dark. It's like a whole new rabbit hole. So as soon as I'm going to start looking into that, the algorithm will be like, right, satanic stuff. Here you are, Nick. Just like, for Christ's sake, like, can I have a fucking break for 5 minutes?
So do you believe this is a conscious effort to not just destabilize? Because if you destabilize something, like, the idea is that, or what I would think it would be to cause some sort of ruction so you could do something while people weren't paying attention. But the damage that's being done through social media and the internet, to me, doesn't seem to be something that, if it doesn't stop, will be fixable, and it'll just continue to go forward. So do you think there's a conscious effort to not just destabilize people, but to lead them down a path of like debauchery?
In what way do you mean debauchery? Like cheating on your spouse or anything like that? I mean,
no, like everything. I think there is a. I think the more extreme you make porn, for instance, the more extreme the fetishes will come that come after it.
Oh,
And
for
the
sure.
and the more embraced that will be and accepted in society. So when you have that happen, then everything kind of falls with it. So I remember seeing someone talk about the I can't remember whether it was Peter Hitchens or not. And obviously, like Peter Hitchens, famously like anti-drug, and his point about if you legalize like pot, but it's kind of has a disregarding eye thrown to it, you've destabilized law at a base point. So all the way up from that. So if you're willing to turn a blind eye to that, then you'll turn a blind eye to this and this and this and this and this, and it just becomes this like cascading effect where society falls apart. And you thought at the time, oh yeah, it's just a fucking joint. What's the problem? But it breeds a disregard for authority and rules.
Good point on that one. If you look at America now with the legalization of pot, has it done any good? I think it has. It's made people rich. Apparently the crime's gone down. Look, I don't know. I don't live in America. Someone in the comments section.
The crime will have gone down because you've got an entire crime which has been decriminalized.
Exactly. Yeah. So it does have its perks. It does have its benefit, but I think there's another side that it's definitely a moneymaker. It's definitely an industry for it. But desensitize, like giving people permission to be. I mean, everyone that consider a stoner is lazy. Oh, he's just like a couch potato. He just smokes weed all day. That's not necessarily the case. So it's down to the perspective of the people. Everyone's differently. Everyone's not going to be thinking the same. But I think desensitize. I mean, if you're going back to porn, it really is based upon trends. If you, for instance, your stepmom or stepsister porn video, obviously it's fake, gets loads of views, there's a trend for it. So it's like, okay, what can we do now? Let's add the father involved, and the taboo gets more extreme. It's like, where the hell do you get with this? And I think now with Bonnie Blue and her stunt, which thank God that he got stopped, obviously the glass cage thing, I think now the extreme has probably gone a bit too far on OnlyFans site. But whether or not it's on Pornhub or wherever sort of porn website, you will gonna find the extreme. But again, you got to base it on trends. Mate, if it's going to make money, and obviously porn is one of the biggest industries in the world, it dominates the internet. From what I heard, anyway, I can fucking chat GPT it, saying what is the percentage of porn that makes up of the internet? It's probably like 70-80% when you look at it, and how dark these porn websites go. I mean, Pornhub is probably like the tip of the iceberg, mate. You know, it's these incest stuff is not real, but it's given the person who is curious and thinking about it, because he's probably a bit fucked up in the head, given him permission to be like, oh, okay, well, I've watched this video that's obviously promoting my feelings. Obviously it's taboo and I can't talk about it. But then, like I said, is how far is that going to get pushed? The father involved, the bloody nan gets involved, the dog gets involved next, the hamster get involved. # Ollie, you know. So it's like so there's so many different things where we can look at this, and it depends on the people. But you have to admit, the sex addicts, the masturbation addicts, you know, if you get enjoyment out of it, it's fine. But if you're doing it 10 times a day, I think you've got a fucking serious problem. And the fetish side is too extreme.
Joe, sometimes I go back to I remember the internet taking hold. You know, I remember like the time 2000s? Before. Yeah, I remember the time before the internet. I remember when it was just kind of like you heard the internet was a thing. Nobody could get on it. Nobody had, yeah. Or at least nobody I knew could get on it. And then I did get on it, and I started watching like YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I became a conspiracy theorist. No, but I remember watching videos back then about how the W in Hebrew translated to Hebrew is var. So, and VAR is 6. So www it would be 666 if you translate it into Hebrew and then into numerology.
Yeah.
And I remember the people saying back then that like the World Wide Web was the mark of the beast. And I look at it now and go, oh, I'm not convinced those people weren't right.
It's definitely dominated everything, and it's a useful tool. Don't make it wrong, everyone uses the internet.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to exist now. In fact, if you try to exist without access to the internet, you are separating yourself. You're essentially, if you turn your computer off and go, I'm never to turn this on again. I'm not going to use it. First of all, I'm not 100% convinced that's possible anymore. And secondly, that's the level of access somebody has with the internet over you if you decide not to use it. We're talking the difference between what we talk about when we talk about between us and a breakaway civilization. Yeah, you are creating the majority of the world. You're making them a breakaway civilization from you.
Okay, put this theory out here. Okay, you said that AI is a sentient being. It's been lurking in the wings for so many years, waiting for its right opportunity. Right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe it actually created the internet in one way of knowing that is going to be pushed as even a politically useful tool, but in so many different avenues is a way to split people apart. Because when you really think about it, social engineering is part of the internet in a massive way. The news and all that comes with it, but you think overall aspect, what has dominated people's life is the internet, isn't it? Really, when you look at it, and it's dark, man. It's so dark.
Two biggest things that have happened to us in our lifetime: the invention of the internet, and when we shrunk technology down small enough that we could have it in our pocket at all times.
Yeah, I've seen a photograph of like a 2 megabyte, like it was like a 2 megabyte hard drive, and it was like the size of a car back in 1960s. And I can get something that's triple the amount of memory in something like the size of a pea, isn't it? You know, that's more of a German aspect. That's what the Germans perfected. And you're taking something that was big and then turn it into something miniature. You know, it's yeah, you are right. I mean, look at phones now. It used to be a massive brick, and now it's, I reckon within time it'll be all holographic. It will just be like a massive, not massive, just a plain piece of like plastic, see-through plastic.
Yeah, that's connected in some way to a cloud computing system.
Yeah, because remember these smart cities is not just obviously tracking everything you do, but you could potentially, like I said, that concept of having a phone, just literally, because 5G is everywhere, isn't it? Luckily enough, I don't get any signal where I live. It's pretty good, you know, been natural headspace. But when you go to like these 5G areas, it's everywhere. So it would make sense if you lived in a smart city and you had this sort of device. Technology is changing at such a rate, and AI is just the beginning of it.
Yeah,
I mean, the stuff I've seen, mate. I've seen comedies of people actually talking, and it's all AI generated. The speak, the jokes ain't funny, but it's showing people.
Oh no, I've seen some funny AI stuff. Those videos of those videos of the Yetis. Have you seen the Yetis?
Oh yeah,
that's fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube has put something forward now that they're going to demonetize content that doesn't have human beings in it.
Oh really?
Yeah. So if there's
okay, makes
sense.
So
if you're not making original content with people in it, if it's just like an AI image with AI voices reading an AI script, those videos will not be monetized.
Makes sense, because I was researching a UFO case and I was listening to all these YouTube videos and going, this is AI voice. Like, it's not an actual real, and we can tell that easy, but within 10 years, even like 5 years, a couple of years, you ain't going to tell the difference. And even with going back to porn again, you have people faking AI images and having OnlyFans accounts, but purely AI generated women. they're obviously you can tell by the texture of the skin, but the way things are advancing, it's crazy. Mate, give it a couple of years, you ain't gonna tell the difference.
No, I don't think you will. I think I think we spoke about this last time, but within 5 years, I think people will be able to make full Hollywood blockbusters at home.
Yeah. Not only just that, for instance, how we can take someone's voice. For instance, Freddie Mercury's been dead for like 30 years. We've got so much recording of him singing. We can literally take AI, get his voice, and make him sing practically anything. Make him say anything. And then we can get the image of him and actually make a proper music video. For instance, again with Star Wars, when the dickhead Mark Hamill, who's a lefty tosser, passes away, and then the rights.
That guy.
He's a tosser. I can't stand him. And eventually, when he passes away, whenever Disney have got the rights to use his likeness, the whole of Luke Skywalker, basically, because they own the product.
Yeah.
And if they got that ability to actually create Luke Skywalker and make him look real, and they have done that in The Mandalorian, they can make new, episode bloody Star Wars episode 12 with Mark Hamill. Obviously he's dead, and spoiler alert. But at the same time, this is where we are now. We can take singers, dead celebrities, and turn it into new product.
I think it's going to get really sketchy really quickly, isn't it? The where the law lies with this stuff. It's how much of a so for instance, I'm not sure what the laws are in the US, but in the UK, you can film somebody without their consent. That's the way it is. It's for public photography, I believe. Because you can't do any public filming and then worry about who's in it. I think it's down to the discretion of the photographer or filmmaker whether they blur the faces out of people.
Right.
I think the way it's going to go is that sooner or later it will be ruled that you don't necessarily have the rights to your own image and your own voice.
Oh, good point. Good point. I don't think people would care. A certain demographic would, but I think a vast majority of people are like, yeah, that's fine, whatever, because they're so distracted anyway.
Yeah, I'm not making podcasts. I don't make YouTube videos. It doesn't matter to me. Meanwhile, somebody can do like the Daily Cum Pod, copy our voices, and then just have an AI version of this podcast that's in direct competition with the actual human beings.
I think we're coming to that stage, mate. We're definitely coming to that stage. It's so unpredictable.
I think we are. I think there's going to be a pushback to it, but I'm far more concerned with what it's going to do to the social fabric than I am anything else. If it felt like we were at like ripping point in like 2016, 2017, it's so much tighter now than it was back then. It just feels like any single element could happen right now, and the whole fucking powder keg could go off.
Do you think it's in planning stages?
I think so. It feels like it's being planned.
Yeah, definitely. Something's brewing.
Yeah, I think we're being conditioned slowly to like if you look back, it's like these little tiny things, the totalitarian tiptoe in full effect. But with even when you think back of phrases that would have started like around the early teens of like my authentic self and living my truth, these things on their own don't matter, but you embed that into a generation of people, and it's to accept an individual truth rather than the truth is to admit to yourself that you are willing to sacrifice logic and facts for your own ego's sake.
It's pretty much where we are at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
With these certain demographics. Yeah. Obviously, the LGBTQ people.
Like trans are an easy target for it. Don't get me wrong, but I think this goes for fucking everybody.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just so, and that's when I wonder with the whole idea of the mouse utopia. If we're in the crazy part of it, you know, we accept now that like conspiracy and conspiracy theories are kind of mainstream. And as a conspiracy theorist, I go, yeah, well, that's because I was right. But like, do the people in the asylum know they're crazy?
Okay. Do you know what? Make a really good point. Okay, because I've taken a step back from the truth movement, the conspiracy realm. I'm still in it, but I'm so skeptical of what's been put forward. I truly believe that side of the community, and I think many other people will say the same thing, Lee, is that the community has been hijacked. The information that's been put forward by certain people, not going to name who it is, seems to be pushing the alternative media in a different direction. And I would wholeheartedly agree with David Icke on this one, that the fact that the alternative media back in 2008 was different compared to what it is now.
I think so.
And I do feel there is a level of disinformation, hence chemtrails. My God. I mean, if you want a proper analysis into like the skies, come check out my other channel called The Cosmic Twilight, where I do analysis of like trails in the sky. I tell you what now, it's not blocking out the sun. But that demographic is saying, oh no, it's blocking out the sun because this and that and that. It's like, yeah, but you're just regurgitating what you heard on the internet. And I find, especially in that sort of community, and the same with the truth movement.
Yeah, they've found another position of authority.
Exactly. And there is a level of arrogance behind it. It's like, now I know the truth about chemtrails and such and such. It's like, well, hold on, let's take a step back and see where you're getting your information from. You're getting your information from Barbara, who works in Tesco's, stacking shelves. And then she's telling me
Barbs knows what's what, though.
Yeah. She's telling me that, there's no natural weather anymore. And what we're seeing has all been genetically engineered on purpose. It's like, well, clearly she's like, not thinking straight. It's like, even like you said, Lee, it's like the common sense. Where is the common sense? Whereas like David Icke says, take a deep breath in, take a step back and analyze what you're actually seeing. Does anything make sense in the aspect of what they're actually talking about? And to be honest with you, it doesn't.
I had this conversation this morning with Ollie on the phone, and we had a very strangely enough, like, because we planned a slightly different show, or half planned a slightly different show, didn't we, rather than this? And it was quite weird, so that I had almost an identical conversation with Ollie, and it was about the conspiracy theories and whether the Great Awakening is actually like the great fucking, well, no, not necessarily great psyop, but like the great degradation of common sense and critical thinking. I used Flat Earth as an example for this, and I loved doing a Flat Earth episode. Anyone that listens to this podcast will know, fucking love it. Because that's the thing as well, right? I am definitely, and although there is a lot of stuff on this podcast that I believe, there is also a lot of this stuff that comes on this podcast that I don't necessarily believe, but I enjoy talking about it because I think the exercise of having a conversation about something you don't necessarily believe, not from a combative point, is beneficial.
Yeah.
So the podcast we did with Dave Weiss, really enjoyed it. Love having Dave on the show. And then I was thinking to myself, so right, there's two choices. Flat Earth is terrifying because there's only two ways it can go. Yeah. So the first way is that Flat Earth is a bang on. We're being lied to about everything. The Earth's flat as fuck, and we live in an enclosed environment, all that sort of stuff. So that is actually the good side, because they're like, it's remarkable, especially if you buy Dave Weiss's app. It's remarkable how many flat earthers there are. How many flat earthers have Dave's app? That's not even all the flat earthers. That's just the ones with Dave's app.
What's
It's
the
fucking
percentage?
Tens of thousands of people have bought that app. I mean, it might be hundreds of thousands of people. No, sorry, it is hundreds of thousands of people. He said on the show, and I fucking forgot where it was. So then you got to think, well, that's got to be a small percentage of the people that are actually out there. So let's say 10% of flat earthers bought the app. Probably less. Probably 5. It's probably only a small percentage of people that have actually bought it. You look at I'd imagine it would be a similar demographic, similar size like demographic to there is this podcast, for instance, as I said on the last episode. Over the next 2 months, we'll be doing like a countdown to our we'll have hit 1 million streams just on Spotify, and that's pretty cool. But then when you think, right, so like there's been 1 million downloads, we know we have we can see on like Spotify's really good for this sort of stuff because it's like a social media app as well. We got like 7,000 and something subscribers. We get more. There's more people listen to the podcast than they're actually subscribed. So by orders of magnitude, there's more people that download it.
Yeah.
But only 56, I think, as now people have signed up to the Patreon out of a possible 60,000-70,000 people a month. So,
wow.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a small portion of the population have actually ditch some money out to do that, and that's fine. Like, genuinely, I'm not. If you listen to this podcast just normal with adverts, you're fucking doing the God's work. You mean the world to me for doing stuff like that. So what I'm trying to get to is that if the flat Earth community is fucking huge. So this is why the Earth being flat and the fact the government lied to us about that as well is the best case scenario for it. Because the worst case scenario for it is there is a huge amount of people out there which have just let go of some common sense. They chose their own adventure and they're living their truth.
Yeah. The thing is with the flat Earth, right? I don't want to bash it. I don't want to bash the people. It's not what I'm here for. I don't want to be that sort of person. But if you've got photographic proof of it, by all means, I'll believe it. There's one aspect of the conspiracy that I don't necessarily believe. But this goes down to, I think, go sort of back on subject, the fact that is giving people permission. Is it giving people permission? Like, for instance, Dave's app. People are curious about flat Earth. If they're willing to go into it, you get the people that says, "Oh, that's a load of bollocks. I'm not going to go into it." That's fine. You're going to get those people. But some of them are like, "Oh, just have a little look and see." And then you got loads of other people, like you said, probably hundreds of thousands of people on this app saying the same thing. And then eventually you go, "Oh, no, the Earth is flat," because the other people are saying it as well. And it feels like you're part of a community. And this is part of like how I think in one way, hold on, bloody paintbrush here. In one way it's you're putting people in different demographics. You're putting people in different categories. Now, the flat Earth people are, no offense, same with the chemtrail people, live in an echo chamber. And
whenever someone says no offense, it's when they're really going to offend you. It's like when someone turns around and says, "I don't mean to be racist, but
I don't like black people." Yeah. But that's a joke, by the way. But basically, like I said, it's giving people a permission to go, "Oh, actually, no, these people are believing what I thought was true, even though I was curious in the beginning." And then it leads down a rabbit hole. But flat Earth, mate, look, I think it's doing probably more. I don't believe in NASA, but I also don't believe in flat Earth. My opinion. I don't believe NASA what they're showing you in space, basically the moon, Mars, and all that sort of malarkey.
I think you can see the. I think you can see it now on the internet with the rise of anti-Semitism.
It's prevalent in the truth movement.
Huge, and the funny thing is you get You'll turn around and the instant response will be like, "Oh, well, so it's so it's anti-Semitic to call out Israel." And No, but like you would call them a big nose bean counter. That's not calling out Israel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah. Or the,
I,
yeah.
I think there's something so strange with how people are reacting to things right now. I actually think we're at a strange cultural shift right now, and I can't quite work out where it's going. I mean, I always think I'm quite good at seeing round corners with stuff like this. Like for the trans stuff, I called really well over the years, I think. And like this, that sort of the social, what's it called, the culture war. I think I stayed pretty abreast of when I kind of knew where it was going to wash up and why it was going to wash up and how long it was going to stick around for. But this I didn't think I would see the day where the progressive left would openly call for the death of Jews
in live performance. Yeah.
And then not only would that happen, but the right in the truth movement would agree with them, even though you're agreeing with the same people that told you 2 years ago that your daughter could be your son if they chose to. That's who you're agreeing with.
You know, you hit on the nail on the head with that. It like goes back to like common sense, and I think a lot of people are pushed into these demographics, these certain avenues, communities. You can call it a cult if you wanted to. It is being a conspiracy theorist. Okay, no disrespect, is a way of life. You've gone from, I've been there twice. You've gone from CNN, brain, mainstream media, and then suddenly you 360 flipped into a whole different avenue. It does change your perspective, doesn't it?
Absolutely, all like on everything. Yeah,
everything, every aspect. You just don't really trust in anything anymore, and that goes with mainstream media and science as well, and science as well. Because I'm not denying science, guys. It's a real thing.
It's why, the scientific method is a real thing. That's the problem is that in order to do that, you need human beings, and human beings are fallible and corruptible.
I think this is where we are at the moment. I mean, going back to like the anti-Semitic stuff, and that is prevalent in the truth movement. I'm not going to give this person away, but I did a podcast with someone last year, and she kept on saying these things. I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand. It's stuff to do with the Jews. I'm holding a paintbrush here, fiddling around with it. Sorry.
Was this person super hot with some fairly fucking, let's be polite and say, edgy ideas?
Edgy ideas, yes, but in terms of looks, no, unfortunately not. No, she didn't listen to the podcast anyway, but I'm not gonna. Sorry, I've already said it. Didn't say her name. That's all right though. But
is that the person I'm thinking of?
No, not her. No.
All right, okay.
Trust me, I would let you know if it was her. Trust me. I'll be showing it off, mate. I'll be like, look. But no. This person, she kept on saying stuff about the Jews. And then she was saying something about the algorithms and the people that own the algorithms, who run the algorithms. And she goes, oh, yeah, the people with the big noses. And I'm like, oh, God, just like, don't. Just like, can we like not go there?
Yeah.
She just like pushed it out there. I'm like, look, okay, I understand you got your beliefs, but at the same time, it's like it can be a bit anti-Semitic if you think that way. But this person's a very harsh mindset on the Jews. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, where has this come from? Not every single Jewish person is, flipping Zionist and stuff like that. I really don't understand where this has come from, and it's quite prevalent in the community.
It was really quick as well. It seemed like I know people like the in the UK, for instance. I know like conservative people have already turned around to me. So like during the Jeremy Corbyn run with Labour, when he was called out for being anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I remember people telling me how the left is anti-Semitic if you take the mask off. I never got it. I never understood it. I never understood what they were going on about, why they were saying it. But it does seem to be, as soon as there was a crack in that window, they smashed the glass to get in.
Yeah, I think that was obviously planned stages to be done on purpose.
I think, yeah. I mean,
a lot of riots are like that, mate. To be honest with you, a lot of riots are like it.
I can't quite grasp. And people will say, "Oh, it's because they are doing it. It's because it's been there. People are just starting to wake up, and that's always the thing." And you can't fight that argument, because you've got one side that's telling you, "Well, you're just ignorant, so you don't know. You need to wake up. You need to go do your own research." That type of thing.
God, I hate that bloody term.
Which is like crazy enough. He's like because I've got this. I 100% believe there's a woke right now. There's like a woke right, and that a lot of the woke right exists in the conspiracy community and like the truth community. And the hilarious thing is that do your own research is it's the line. It's the opposites. It's the opposite side of like educate yourself. It's the same thing. It's the same, and they mean it in the same way as well. It's it never came to me until recently.
It's like the chemtrail community will go. I mean, it happens so all the time. It's like, well, they'd say, "Oh, well, they're spraying the skies continuously every single day with barium, strontium, aluminium." I'm going, okay, so where do I get this information from? Oh, just go on the internet. I'm just like, yeah, but I'm dealing with algorithms here. If I put in chemtrails in flipping Google, it's going to come up with a bunch of debunks.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's very easy. Just do your own research. It's like, yeah, but you're the one that's saying it. You're the clear expert. You're the one that's
you've done the research. Share it.
Exactly, mate. And they don't, because it's regurgitating viewpoints. And this is the thing with any sort of community, especially the truth movement. It's regurgitating points of views. Every time, for instance, I put a chemtrail video out and someone put, "Oh, they're spraying us like cockroaches or bugs every day." It's like, no, they're not. I track the satellites every day, and I tell you not now, they're not spraying us with bugs, but it's those buzzwords that just keep getting regurgitating. But they're not really applying that with common sense and thinking about it. Like, for instance, like with chemtrails, mate, it's not blocking out the sun. Nothing's blocking out the sun. I've been doing it for 2 years, literally tracking the skies. Literally, I literally track the skies. I track the aircraft. I then look at the satellite, and I put all that in a video. And I tell you what, 2 years worth, I'm going, well, I've seen no evidence it's blocking out the sun. It's not poisoning me, because my nan's been on this planet for 89 years, still full of health. If we've been doing chemtrailing for God knows how many years, how come my nan's still here? How come me and you are like perfectly healthy? Do you know what I mean?
So what do you think it is?
I think it's just fucking water vapor. Look, chemtrails are real, guys, but I think what we're seeing in the sky, vast majority, is water vapor. But the community alone has gone so rampant. For instance, you talked about a video you haven't seen on YouTube called The Dimming, which is a chemtrail documentary which has 22 million views. Lee, tell me a YouTube channel that has talks about chemtrails has 22 million views. It don't happen. And you look into the guy called Dane Wigington, who runs geoengineeringwatch.com, who put out the documentary The Dimming. He has put a lot of misinformation in that documentary. He showed an old documentary going back from 1942, and it shows these B-2 bombers from World War II taken off from Dover and about to do a bombing run of Germany. And as the plane gets higher and higher, the narrator in this documentary from 1942 is going, basically, as the plane's getting higher, you can see the condensation trails getting just faint. As they get higher to the stratosphere, you can see it looks like pumping out chemtrails. It looks like something's been sprayed out of this. I mean, these are not jet engines. These are propelled engines, World War II B-2 bombers. But the narrator is saying that the the warm air from the exhaust is condensing with the actual cold air, which is why that's making the trails form.
Yeah.
But Dane Wigington's taken that same clip, he cut out the audio and going, this is proof that a spraying program was happening in World War II. And it's like, no, if you go back to the original documentary, which is called The Memphis Belle, A Flying Fortress, the narrator is saying, no, this is just condensation trails.
Could the narrator be wrong, though?
this it could be, but at the same time, if chemtrails been going on for World War II, over 80 years, I'm pretty sure the technology would have changed by now.
Yeah.
People
No,
say,
no,
"Oh,
that's
it's there
fair.
people are saying, "Oh, it's there to poison us." I'm like, well, we got food, water. If they wanted to poison us, they say they're spraying chemtrails in the skies and all the nanoparticles are raining down. What, 35,000 feet? Why not contaminate flipping car engines, combustion engines?
Well, this is the same. This is the same issue I have with COVID stuff, with between COVID versus COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
And again, I'm fairly fucking happy I didn't get that vaccine. I think of all the choices I've made in my life, think that was one I can put in the green box for things I've done.
Agree. 100% agree with that.
So, but I remember, I remember I'd gone back to work where everyone had to work on their own. We couldn't work together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was painting underneath the windowsill. I was looking outside. I was looking at all the people walking around with masks on and stuff like that. Going, this is fucking weird. It was strange because it was the first job I did when I got back to work. So getting back to work, everything felt normal again when I was in work. Then when I looked out the window, I realized I was still in a zombie apocalypse, and it was jarring.
Yeah.
But what it was that day, because I was still kind of on board with the idea like this could be fucking dangerous at the time, and it suddenly started to dawn on me as I was looking outside. I don't see a pandemic. I just see a load of people walking around in masks. When I speak to people, I don't know anyone that's actually sick.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that's had it and got really, really sick. I certainly don't know anyone that's died. And that got the cogs moving where this is bullshit. This is an event which is being held up by media manipulation. So now, fast forward to today, I'm being told by the Truther community, strokes are up 92%, heart attacks are up 2005. You go, you're getting those numbers from the same places that were telling you everybody was dying of COVID.
Yeah.
If you see a big spreadsheet of numbers, like 50 quid says it comes from Our World and Data.
It's like another example is, for instance, no one believes in BBC or mainstream media anymore. I keep on hearing that, and then the chemtrail community would go, "Oh, look at this article that came out from the BBC saying that they're spraying the skies." It's like, well, hold on a minute. You were saying that don't trust mainstream media, but when it solidifies your belief, you're happy to post it.
You're down with it, yeah.
It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like the cognitive dissonances. Is that the right word for it? It's like you're being very hypocritical. It's like you're not clearly thinking. And this is what I find about this community, Lee. It's the common. People say, "Oh, well, the normie people need to put in common sense." It's like, well, hold on a minute. Look at yourself. Everyone's like it, mate. I think it's done on purpose. It's obviously split people into categories.
If anything, at least the Norway people have some courage of their convictions. They wander they wander around because they've been taught this at school. Like, yeah, well, they were brainwashed. You go, oh, right, okay, but they were still taught it just in the same way. You've been taught what you believe.
Yeah, we're all there once, weren't they? We're all there once.
Yeah,
you know, Normie. You know,
I just wonder what the if there is this and this is what I worry about. Like, I worry that there isn't an end game. I worry that this is the conspiracy is there's no conspiracies.
Well, I think there is, mate.
No, okay. No, but I mean like the big ones we talk about. UFOs, fucking chemtrails, vaccine.
I think that alone is a psyop.
But yeah, this is what I mean. Well, what if the conspiracy theory is that those conspiracy theories aren't real? They're just there to take up brain time. Like I'm convinced now at the age of like 43. I turned 43 last Sunday. Did I, or did I turn 44? I think I'm 43.
43. Go for the younger version.
I think I'm 43. I'm gonna have to check that, aren't I? I hope I'm not 44. That's too close to 45, which is too close to 50. I'm not ready for that. But yeah, so I worry that this is part of the phase, like of the to go back to the mouse utopia.
Yeah.
That we're in the psychosis part of what the internet and social media has done to us. And it's the dopamine hits that we get from being drawn to stuff that we find interesting has it's not 100% there yet, but I feel like we're turning reality into a choose your own adventure game.
Yeah,
like
it's
what
the roller
what
coaster.
what you want? Chemtrails? Do you want them to be real or fake? I want them to be real. Right, take the blue door, please. Aisle 6.
Yeah. This is it. I think you made that spot on. In terms of, are these conspiracies done on purpose to distract people, like the UFO? There's something going on with UFOs. Obviously, we keep on seeing stuff in the sky with the military people. The backtracker catalog of UFO sightings.
Mate.
Yeah, some of them could be fake and all that, but there's something to it.
But the thing is, what you're doing there is you're separating the politicians and service people from everybody else. If we're in the psychosis part of the mouse utopia, it means everybody's going crazy.
The whole lot, yeah, because we're all stuck in one.
We're in an enclosed system, as far as the Earth goes. So it's, I wonder whether this romance of conspiracy theory has infected like every corner. And it's, don't get me wrong, this is probably wrong. It's probably wrong. There is just as much chance that the fucking Illuminati is real. The fucking lizard people, they're munching on adrenochrome. Like, it's all fucking 100% true.
Yeah.
But if it's not, and we're a race that has slowly sent ourselves crazy with technology.
Well, the reptilian, you can thank David Icke for that. If it's all BS, because he's the one that really promoted it. You look at these people, and you think, are they telling the truth? Are we led down this path of like no return? It's like I said, we're at the point now where it's like the circus show where me and you, the normal people, like the rational, clear-headed people, are sitting down and watching the circus show. LGBTQ people, Palestine, flipping political shit, all running around like a massive circus. We go, what the fuck's going on? And things have got they're literally going around like a circus phone. You're thinking, where the hell is this going to go? Like, something is about to go. Probably not good, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are on edge now, especially in this country, Lee. Even politically, the way things have been handled in this country. I can't say the same for America or for anywhere else, but
doesn't seem to be ideal, though, does it? None of it in the West seems to be ideal, and that's what we can see. The other side I do wonder is, are we at the business end of a like fifth generational warfare from foreign adversaries?
No, I don't think it's going to happen. The days of World War is over, I think.
No, not World War, as in like what's going on with society. Is this fifth generational warfare? Have we been at war, as the Alex Jones show would be, like info war?
Yeah.
Have we been in like an electronic war with foreign adversaries for the last 2 decades? We're losing it if we are.
In terms of what, like foreign, would you explain foreign? What do you mean by foreign?
You would go China and Russia, wouldn't you?
China, Russia, yeah.
So right, let's break this down dead easy, right? With the trans argument, trans argument, yeah. I do not believe that the trans argument and the trans situation is an organic process.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Done on
believe it's
purpose.
a social contagion that is spread.
Like a
And
trend.
it's and like most contagions, it's spread to the people it could do. It has got like it's probably ended quite a few hosts, or ends with the host, I should say. I don't mean like dead, but I think it's ended with the host.
Yeah, sure.
And it's probably at the point of dying out. The movement is on the point of dying out, is what I should say.
Yeah.
If you were to put a gun to my head and go, what the fuck's going on here? I would go, we have been infiltrated by either Russia and China with social media to destabilize the West, to culturally destabilize the West, to allow these things to go on. And to be fair as well, I might be selling Russia and China short there. It could be like a World Economic Forum thing. It could be a foreign power as well. What I mean, like a foreign entity which is trying to destabilize culture and destabilize countries just enough to then slip in its own regime. If I'm wrong about conspiracy theories essentially being a mental illness that seems to have engulfed the world, and realistically, like when I say that, I am I'm more playing like intellectual games with myself because I don't really believe that. But I think it's always I always say on this show, if you're going to get involved in this type of conversation and this sort of thinking, you should at least once every other day, at least look in the mirror and go, am I a knobhead? Like, am I
full of shit?
Am I crazy? Because if I can't look at myself in the mirror and at least ask the question, am I crazy? Then I probably shouldn't be doing this, because there's probably a really, really good chance that I shouldn't be speaking to lots of people.
Yeah. In one aspect, I mean, look at TikTok, for instance. That's a Chinese invention, because you're talking about foreign adversaries. Okay, TikTok is a Chinese invention, and then eventually it spread into Europe, into America.
I
changed it.
I fucking love it. I love a bit of TikTok.
You love a bit of TikTok, that's fine. But if you look at TikTok in China, it's very pro-China, big difference. But when you look at in the West aspect, it's gone like a circus show. Is that circus show done on purpose, or is it just literally people are been socially engineered? I guess you could say that's been done on purpose, really, if it's socially engineered. And it's that, I mean, the trans stuff on TikTok is apparently they got billions of views, isn't it? Actually, is that right? I did hear like it's extremely popular, and that's what
social
engineering is pushing than that.
It is, but it's popular because I think it's more popular because it's rage bait. So you will
right, gotcha.
You get a lot of live streams, and it'll be like a person with an LGBTQ plus AI flag behind them, and the caption of the video, the caption of the video will be like, protect trans kids, because they know people get in the comments going, there's no such thing as trans kids, just groomers. And then the rage starts, and all that interaction generates fucking revenue and clicks.
Do you know what? South Park did an episode on that. It wasn't it like Carl's father? He actually turned out to be like a troll, and he ended up like trolling this woman who ended up like ending herself. It was, I know obviously it's a show like that, but people are like that, you know, on online.
South Park's the oracle, man. There's so much stuff South Park gets right. You want to talk? You want to talk about the fucking Simpsons predicting the future? Watch a few seasons of South Park.
Perfect. Even I'm watching the X-Files with the missus, and even that's on point today. Like the second season, that was back like 1994. It's like, wow, it's like so relevant today. But in terms of, is that information like the LGBTQ stuff? Obviously now it's so
LGBTQ plus AI plus, you bigot.
It's actually LGBTQ HDMI, mate. That's what it is. That's what it is. I fucking don't know what acronyms, but you are right.
I think there might even be an extra A in it now. I think it might be LGBTQ plus AI plus.
Oh fucking hell! Anything else want to put into that one? Then that's just, it's just so stupid. Common sense, isn't it? You know, they're changing the flag and all that, and it is a dying breed. Look, Pride Month is still going to happen. It's not going to go anywhere soon.
Mm-hmm.
But the extreme side of it, like there's a YouTuber or TikToker who used to go in, who's claimed to be a woman who was a man. I think his name's Tony or something like. Literally taking pictures and videos of himself in women's bathrooms, and he ended up getting in shit for it.
He's mental, right? I've seen videos from him before, and he will openly, like, just go into restaurants and hope to be like misgendered, or you say misgendered, I say accurately assessed. And the to make rage TikTok videos like, I've never been so offended in my life. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Then there was, because there was a whole video of how the chin was shaved and all that sort of stuff. You go, you look the same. You look the same as you did before. You've just got a perm.
It's gone far beyond stupid, and I'm kind of glad there's sort of even stuff like that gets taught in schools, and that's what's terrifying. That's terrifying for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like for your son, mate, but I don't know.
I haven't come across any of it so far.
Right.
I'm dreading it, actually. Like, if that comes there, because I know that if something like that starts getting taught to my child, I know I probably know more than the teacher that's teaching them.
Sure.
About about the suicide rates, about the regret and retransitioning issues and stuff like that. The fact that the drugs cause massive medical problems, high rates of cancer, high rates of depression. You know, all the stuff no one talks about, all the stuff no one's allowed to talk about because you're doing it. Who is it? Someone, like, I know this podcast has jumped around a little bit, but who was it that said it? I want to say it was Jordan Peterson, but I don't think it was Jordan Peterson. I think it was somebody else. And they said, you've got to remember that if someone with anorexia walks into your clinic, you don't tell them they're fat. They have body dysmorphia. They look at themselves. They don't see themselves like you see them, but you don't reaffirm how they see themselves. You try and help them understand what they are.
Good point. Right, you're kind of seeing their side of the story without. I understand, but look, with anorexia, it's different, isn't it? It's the mindset behind it, you know, because they think that they're fat and they look ugly and they starve themselves.
But you can put that down to body dysmorphia with trans as well. You know, like if you have a man that comes sees himself as a woman, you go, right, okay, but it's the only mental illness I think it is, in my professional opinion, as a painter and decorator and a fucking Z-list podcaster. I think it's the only mental illness that we confirm, that we go, yeah, okay, that's how you feel, that's your truth. Fucking good for you, Barbara.
Good for you, Tony, who wears like stockings and walks. I tell you what, I think, especially the older generation. I mean, there's a guy who I see in Sainsbury's, and he's got a t-shirt on, he's got a skirt with high heels, walking in through the car park, going off to Sainsbury's. Do what he wants to do, that's absolutely fine. You know, don't really bother me, even though he kind of looks bloody stupid. But at the same time, Lee, I'm going, does this guy who's clearly middle-aged, looks a bit of a, you know, stare in the park, so to speak, you know, is that a fetish? Are we now solidifying and giving people these so-called, you know, I wouldn't really call them predators, but these people with extreme fetishes by dressing up like a woman?
I think we offer a majority of people. I think for the majority We are. Yes.
Yeah. This is what's happened. Is now we've got Tony permission to go out and literally go into women's changing rooms, into the women's bathrooms.
Yeah.
But he just has a sexual fetish because that's what he gets off. And now that community has now given him permission to be like, yeah, it's fine. You know, you're a woman, so to speak, Tony. It's like, excellent, like flipping Mr. Burns or something like that. You know, it's man, we live in such fucked up times, and the more and more I look into it, the more I have to take a step out. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like that stage now, there's a ticking time bomb. Something is brewing. I can feel it. Trust your gut instinct, guys. If your gut instinct goes, something's not right, stick with it. Trust me. Forget what other people say. Stick to what your true self is saying. And me and you, Lee, are saying the same thing. Something is coming. Something is brewing. Like you can mention to that mouse experiment. We're in that dystopian nightmare where it's like it can go either way. And if you look at those mouse, they all died, didn't they? Over just boredom. I don't know.
No. Like what it seemed to be is that they died because they were separated from what they were.
Right. Gotcha. They felt disconnected from reality and the whole prospect of themselves.
Mouse source, whatever you want to support it. Yeah.
Sure.
They drifted so far from their natural line that they just ceased to be anymore.
Do you know what? I had rats, like pet rats, me and Mr. had like a few years ago. And when we had 3 of them.
I'll say that word where I'm afraid.
Oh yeah,
bad luck. We have to touch wood and whistle.
Well, anyway, they were extremely friendly, and then one of them died, and the rest of the 2 got so like depressed and became a bit like the mice, just completely lethargic, disconnected, didn't eat anything like that. It's a sign of a depression when you look at it, really. I'm not saying that's the case in this experiment, but you don't know what the outcome of the rats are. Obviously, they felt disconnected, but. I don't know, mate. I don't know. Is it they lost a friend or something like that? You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to tell about these rats.
I don't know whether it's more terrifying to think that we're on the precipice of an event, or that there'll be no event, and we're actually on this like steady decline towards a Blade Runner style, like dystopian fucking nightmare.
We're there. Oh, we're there.
You think we're there?
Yeah.
I don't think we're there yet. I'm not sure we can get back up the hill, but I think we can definitely go a lot further down it.
Mate, I honestly don't know where the hell things are going to go. We're at like the tipping point now. Top of the roller coaster, and it's like one of those roller coasters. Is it going to go forward? Is it going to go back? And that's what plagues me, because it's not probably. Is it going to be a happy outcome? Is it going to be a bad outcome? And the way things are going, it sounds like pretty bad, you know. And it's not a great mindset to live in, guys. It's not. Look, not everything is bad. I know we're dealing with the Daily Conspiracy podcast, you know, themed stuff here, which being a conspiracy theorist just means. You're kind of living in fear in one aspect, isn't it, Lee? Isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I think there's an empowerment. There's an empowerment in the fear.
Yeah,
but there's yesterday's episode. We did an episode on the on like Nibiru that kind of come out of nowhere. To be fair, and it's one of my great fears is the global cataclysm idea, like the Graham Hancock's like cyclical cataclysm.
Sure.
The idea that there is a reset point. It doesn't matter what you do today, doesn't matter what you do tomorrow, because there is a sell-by date on humanity. And it's like we did that episode last night when I came off like, didn't expect that. And just gonna go hug my son, stroke my cat, and go to bed.
Yeah, but we were probably saying the same things thousands of years ago. You know, even go back to like Christianity. Oh, doomsday is coming. The apocalypse.
Oh yeah, we've survived a few apocalypses.
Yeah, sure. The Earth has been through a lot worse than us, guys. A lot worse than us. So I know it sounds like doom and gloom, and I think that's more of a community aspect. You know, like I said, being a conspiracy theorist doesn't bring warmth to the heart. It doesn't.
No,
you are literally living in fear, and it is a way of life. And you could say it's a cult. Okay, it is a bit like a cult because it's a way of life, isn't it?
And it's a difficult job, which is exactly why people should subscribe to the Patreon. It's exactly why they should give a $5.99 a month for podcasts. It's exactly why they should go to the British Podcast Awards and vote for us as the best British podcast, because we are the best British podcast. I truly hope that people don't walk away from this episode deflated.
Yeah, this is not the purpose, guys. Honestly, no, it will have a happy ending.
It's interesting. I like having conversations like this. It's
yeah,
it's necessary.
It's good to talk. It's good.
What's coming up this week on Alien Addict?
Right, so on Alien Addict, we are going to go back to 2007 and look at something that is most probably fake. Actually, it's definitely fake. It's called the Californian UFO drone incident. Go check it out. No one's talking about it in ufology. It looks like obviously it's fake. This is like third phase of moon stuff. But I'm going to go back to 2007 and see what the UFO sightings were back then. I've also got a bunch of UFO magazines dating back from past 80 years. So I will pick, for instance, we are the month of July. I shall pick the magazine from 1996, 1993. We'll go through it and see what ufology was saying back then to what it is now. So
that's really cool. I love it when people do stuff like that. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I like it.
And you're actually getting sources. You're not, trust me, bros. It's like, well, if you read the stories, sure, but it's a blast from the past, and this is what we do with Alien Addicts on ufology. So yeah, come join me. 9 o'clock, guys. 9 o'clock. Alien Addicts YouTube.
That sounds awesome. Thanks, guys, for listening to the podcast. You guys are awesome. We have a cool show. We have cool shows for you next week. Ollie isn't on the podcast all week next week, so the show podcast is a little less gay. We'll be joined by Danny on Sunday night, so you get that Monday morning. The Grumbling Grunts are with us on Tuesday, I believe. Nick, you're with me.
Wednesday, Thursday, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, yeah. And
I can't, just message me, mate. You know,
I can't remember. Danny's doing 2 shows next week. Grumble Grunts is doing 1. Nick's doing a couple. Then Ollie should be back to regale us with his incredible holiday. It was really difficult trying to work out fucking days for people yesterday. I hate scheduling. I'm really bad at it. Other than that, we'll be back. Hope you have a good weekend. And I'm pretty sure the apocalypse won't happen in the meantime. So
I won't. It'll be fine. The sun will rise tomorrow, guys. Don't worry. Appreciate the day.
I nearly burst out.
Nearly
burst out. The sun will come out tomorrow then, but that's Ollie's thing to stay for no apparent reason. Anyway, right. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much. Cheers for coming, Nick. I'll see you later.
That's right. See you later. Cheers.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. They are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.